The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro. FM 100.5. It's time to talk MTCS sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
Danny Brewer here on the Cougar Corner. You know, it's exciting for me because I'm sitting across the table from Christian Peterson, head football coach at Middle Tennessee Christian School. Coach, how are you this morning?
Man, I'm fantastic. Happy to be here.
Very good, Coach. All right, so let's talk. Let's just get rolling with a few things. How's your third year as head coach? In your third year?
Yeah, third year as head coach, fifth overall. It's wild how fast that's happened.
Time flies.
Absolutely.
Well, I know there's been a lot of fun because we're going to get into that here. Let's talk about some of the other fun stuff, the facilities. There's been some major upgrades, I think, going into this football season. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there.
Yeah, so we're able to update the locker room, and we took out the flooring, put in brand new lockers. It's been fantastic. We were able to add some more in there. It's top of the line stuff, and our kids have been really excited about it. And then, that was really Taylor Farms helped make that one happen. Without their support on that one, that ain't getting done. And then, we're going to have a brand new, beautiful turf field this year. SRM came through and helped us out, and we're able to make that project a reality. And it's going to be a game changer, not just for us, but for soccer and for everybody. We're going to be able to practice up there and hold events up there year round, and it's really going to athletics at MTCS. It's an exciting time.
It's just a major upgrade because when you think about, people don't always think about the turf field. They think, oh, well, natural grasses, but when you think about what it does, all those things you just mentioned, it really is a huge upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, a grass field can hold up for 20 to 30 events before it starts to deteriorate. And so you start looking at how many teams we've got playing on that field. Like we're way past 20 to 30 events. And so then you can't, if someone in the community wants to come in and needs a field and rent the field, and, it starts, you have to really decide, like, do we want anyone else on this field because it's already starting to go. Whereas once you have that turf field, now you can practice on it. Now you can have events on it. Now, you can do field rentals and you can do all those other things. And it just allows more people to experience MTCS. And, it's a game changer, and we're really excited about it.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned is practice, and people don't always understand. So now it doesn't matter what the weather is. You're always going to have a good surface to practice on. Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, really, honestly, too, it's the constant lines, right? Like it's such an overlooked part of the game where, our practice field, we'll go out, we'll paint it, we'll have all those things, but, now everything it looks different on a practice field, right? Because we're kind of in between the football and the baseball field, so like you're not feeling like it's as big. Whereas like you get out on the game field, now you're practicing on it, like you just get used to the spacing and things like that, and it helps everybody. It helps you understand where you need to be on. You're able to go left hash, middle, right, when you're running plays, and so it just really changes what you're able to do in practice.
Let's talk a little bit about the expectations that you have created at Middle Tennessee Christian School. State champs 2 years ago. Those expectations, what they have meant for your program coming into this football season, because obviously the bar is a whole lot higher.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be expectations at MTCS. There should think I don't ever want to work somewhere where there's not expectations, right? Like if everyone's cool just going 0-10, like that's not a job for me. And so I'm really proud of our kids. I thought we've had a really good off season. We're a year older. We were a lot of freshmen and sophomores last year playing a lot, and so now we're a bunch of sophomores and juniors, and you can definitely see that has paid dividends. And I was surprised with how much they remembered when they got into spring, and so we've been able to really kind of hit the ground running. And I'm excited to get started and get some games under our belt.
Those expectations, they also, winning breeds winning. The success that you've had attracts kids to want to come play at Middle Tennessee Christian School. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in this day and age, like, you're always going to have kids that are looking around and that are looking to try and figure out what's the best academic place for them. And then, I think once you get to two schools that are both academically well and they're doing a good job and they're doing all of those things, like now, like, I also like to play football, or I also like to play basketball, or I also like to play baseball, and now we can look at those. But yeah, I think it matters. I think having a strong sports program matters. Sometimes, you go out and you win a game, you get put in the newspaper, or maybe that's the first time someone's heard about that school, right? And now it's going to give us an opportunity when they come and tour to show them all the great things we can do, and our new robotics lab and all of those things, right? And I think it matters.
So let's talk a little bit about the football team. Offensively speaking, tell me a little bit about what you got going on offense as far as returning players and schemes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we return a bunch. We've got Jackson Piercy at tight end. We've got Jacob Cruz, Eli Priestley at center. And we've got some new guys. We've got Knox Appleton, fresh football player at strong guard. We've got Jake Latimer at inside tackle, who has starting defensive end for us last year. And then Drew Prosser at outside tackle. At X, we're going to play a bunch of guys. Jack Thompson will probably be the star, but that's going to be a spot that we always have heavily rotate there. Are going to be Shy and Riley. Both of them are really good football players, and we're really excited about them. At B-back, we'll have a couple different guys we rotate in. Golden and Shoe, both going to do a really good job for us. Then you get into the backfield, and you go our quarterback spot. You got Marlowe, who's a sophomore, and you've got Kingston, who's a freshman, who are both going to be big-time players. And so I think it helps having them both back there. They're able to push each other. And so, when one's in versus when the other's in, you're going to kind of dip into a different bag. But they both are doing a really good job. You get to our running back spot. You got Ali, who ran for 1,000 last year. You've got Cooper Jones. You've got freshman Will Odom, who's kind of coming into his own there. And so, we're really excited about us up front and in the backfield.
Well, Coach, all these things you're mentioning, that tells me one thing: depth. You got options, which a lot of times at smaller schools you don't necessarily always have those. But it sounds like you've got some options. For sure.
Yeah, I think we're definitely just about too deep everywhere. Small school problems. Our too deep is the same too deep. When you get over the defense, might be shuffled around. But I do think we have our young guys they didn't waste last year. Right, like the guys that were thrown into the fire, they didn't get down, they didn't get disappointed that they were getting beat. They just need to get better. Our up, and they were ready to push people and try and get in the game. And the good thing about us this year is we're not forced to play a freshman who's not ready. So we've been able to let them learn and let them get some reps without putting them in bad spots. But I mean, we're fun. I'm excited. I think the games start, you guys will be able to see all their hard work that they've put in, and I'm excited.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about defense. I know that obviously a lot of the kids on offense are going to be some of the kids on defense too, but let's talk a little bit about defense, your schemes, what you're looking at to happen there.
Yeah, so a 4-3, 4-2-5, kind of however you want to slice it. Our interior bodies are going to rotate constantly. And so, like I tell them all the time, plays really matter, right? Like, because you guys are also, some of you guys are playing offense too. So if we go offense first, like, it might be a different two in there than in a depth chart. DN and Latimer. Linebacker-wise, Eric Bowling will be our Mike. And the steps he's taken are unbelievable. Last year was his first year playing football since he was in like 6th grade. Didn't really know much about it. Just flew around, made tackles, ended up leading the team in tackles. And I don't really know if he knew what he was just out there trying to play hard. And this year he's able to get people lined up. He's getting another, and so I'm excited to see what he does this year. At will, it's going to be basically our B rotations at will. It's Golden and Shu, and they're gonna, one of them's gonna play B, one of them's gonna play will, and then maybe rotate it as the game goes on, and just let them both play. Our Sam will be Cooper Jones, who's going to be a really good player. He's gotten a lot bigger, and he's now a sophomore. He's going to be a good time player. Then we got Jack Thompson at a corner. You've got Shy Murphy at the other corner. And then you've got Ali at safety. You got Trey Ewell at safety. And then we've got a lot of those names we mentioned before, all kind of rotating in. Another guy that is working right now in that the cornerback room is Knox Carden, who grew a lot in the offseason. And so, he's learning what to do at corner. I think snaps for us that are meaningful at some point. And I'm excited about this group. They've all pushed each other, and they just continue to get better.
So, Coach, when you talk about freshness and keeping kids, it's important, especially in the trenches. You feel like, because that's where you win and lose games a lot of times, in the trenches.
For sure. And we brought in Coach D-Line, brought him over from Cascade, and I think me and him have worked pretty well together at making sure that works, right? And I still coach the O-line. That's my baby, and I don't know that I'll ever give it up. But we were able to have that conversation. Like, here's what we can do. Here's how we can rotate some guys. Here's what we can look at, or that we don't get into the fourth quarter and one kid's played every single kids that can play standing on the sidelines, right? And so we're working it pretty well right now. I think our rotation's been good, and it'll get tested this Friday to see how it goes. Bullets are, I'm excited.
That rotation, that also keeps all the kids invested. When that's what you don't want a kid just to be standing on the sideline. You want everybody to be invested in the program. What's going on?
This is the biggest roster we've had since I've been here. We're gonna have 38 on the roster.
All right.
So 2 years ago when we won state, I think we had 31, and so it's a good problem to have, right? So we continue to get more and more kids out. We've got I want to say it's 61 kids, 8th grade, playing right now, and so you start projecting that out, like there's a chance that varsity roster sits at 61, and so the growth has been fantastic. It starts with our youth coach job, with retention, making sure the kids enjoy, and then obviously you want to win, right? Like they want to win. They're all competitive guys, and but they're doing it the right way, and they're making sure the kids are having. When we get them as freshmen, they know what they're doing. They understand what they're supposed to do. They're physical. They play hard, and again, they're making it to us, which I think is a testament to all of our youth guys and our.
Without question. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule. You mentioned this Friday night when the Bullets start flying for real. Who you open up with?
So we'll play Ezel Harding at home. Got our turf dedication at 7. Love to see everybody come out, and really it's a special night. We got family fun night before that, so bring out the little ones, come let them bounce around on the bounce. Should be a great night. Should be a lot of energy in the stadium and to get rolling.
Ezel Harding, that's a school that has been football proud at times, and they kind of shrunk down to 8-man football, I think, and now they're back up to 11-man football. So the local school, excited to see that, because I know that we'll talk about the rest of the schedule here in a minute, but excited to see a local school coming to town for the opener. Yeah,
and me and Corey are friends. Their head coach, and he's done a really good job. They've gotten better every year. They're always athletic. They can they throw the football, and so it'll be a challenge, right? It'll be no cupcakes, right? Go out and roll the ball out and see what happens.
Coach, schedule. I know there's been some changes because of some schools in football, so you've had schedule. You're going to be road warriors. You're I think you need big-time away games. Tell me a little bit about what you got on the schedule.
Yeah. Make sure you come out to our 4 home games and come see us play. Try to make these trips for our road games. I say that, but our MTCS community goes all over and they're fun. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be going from Memphis and North Carolina for our road games. I think Chattanooga is our closest road game this year, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll go see the state and go to a bunch of places. And so, I'm 9th game. Losing 2, couldn't find someone for week 3, but we're able to get week 10 filled, and if I had to pick one of those 2 open weeks to fill, it would have been week 10. And but yeah, so Warriors will be hopping on charter buses and potentially staying in hotels and all the things.
Does that maybe add a little something that's challenging as a coach, but for the kids, don't you think that maybe creates a little bit of excitement for them because, hey, we're going to Memphis, or hey, we're going to Carolina, or whatever? You think that adds a little something?
I think yes and no. I think they enjoy riding the charter buses, right? Like they enjoy guesses, and now some of these trips are far. We'll see. I think for us, we had that Florida trip in 23, and so we're able to kind of lean on, what did we do, what was our schedule, and to mimic that as much as possible. Each trip is different, but try and mimic some of the things that we did in that trip when we go to Johnson City and we go to some of those farther games where we're gonna have to make a decision on hotel or not, and when do we get a charter bus available, and all those things. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and definitely looking forward to when we play at home, so we don't have to hop on a bus and drive all over.
That's fun. That's kind of tongue in cheek because it just adds more. Because managing a football program is huge as far as what it plate. But when you think about managing, so another kind of a monkey wrench that gets thrown in there, right?
Yeah, I will say Ed Watson kind of handles our travel plans, and he does a fantastic job. I joke with him all the time that he always is top notch and makes sure that we have all the things we need, anything ready to go, and it makes my job a lot easier when it comes to these travel. And I would say too that our administration's been really supportive, right? Like, it'd be really easy for our administration to get in, and because we're gonna have to leave early, like we just are. In order to go, we've got to leave early. We're gonna miss some Fridays, and every meeting I've had with them was like, I understand that this wasn't. Some of those are region games,
right?
Johnson City's a region game for them.
And that's crazy because Johnson City is a haul.
Yeah, and so they've been really supportive, and we've sat down, we've talked, we've looked at like when's the best time to leave, and all. Again, I think it's a testament to who MTCS is. As everyone's kind of in it together, and I want to see the kids be as successful as they can be. And so I think it's going to work out. I do. I think it's going to be okay. And you can either complain about it or you can just get ready to go play football. At the end, at 7 or 7:30, whenever kickoff is for that game, play football against somebody else, and let's go beat them.
There you go. Well, what happens if you don't find a game for? Because this late, what's the likelihood of you finding a game for week 3 and don't play?
Yeah, we'll just have a bye. We almost had week 3. Had talked to a couple of people, but when there was multiple teams that tried, there's a couple of them that were closer together. We were kind of the odd man out. We were away from everybody else, and so we just weren't able to make it work. And Georgia and Alabama and Kentucky and Ohio, and I was looking all over. I stumbled upon the North Carolina game, and we were able to make that end. And so definitely trying to wanted to get as many games filled as possible for our seniors. You know, you only get so many football games, and so, you know, you lose 2, 20%. That's a lot. And so, you know, I'm really glad we were able to get at least, you know, in a perfect world we would have gotten both filled. So at least we were able to get one filled, and so, you know, we'll play the cards we were dealt, you know, and put the ball down.
I think that's the only choice you got, Coach. We certainly appreciate your time. We wish everyone to get over there because I'm sure the facility is going to be fantastic. It's top notch. I know that's the only way you guys do things over there. Get over and see me, Coach. We appreciate your time and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Go
All righty. Yeah, best of luck, Coach.